Hello, my name is Tom LeMay. Welcome to this edition of TV 10's Cable Cookery here with Tom's TV Dinners. Got a real neat show for you today that's a very Italian, and we're showing some veal Oscar, which is a rolled veal, an Italian salad, and also a fettuccine ricotta, which sounds real good to me. We'll find out how to make that in a minute with Vinny, the head chef there at Champions. Also, you see these bananas and rum and banana liqueur and flambe dishes and all this kind of stuff. Well, Jackie, one of our favorite people from Champions, is also going to show us how to make our famous bananas Foster. We'll be back with those two great chefs and a good Italian meal with a real good dessert in just a minute, right after this message. Welcome back to Cable Cookery here on TV 10's Tom TV Dinners. I would like to introduce you to Vinny DeLillo, right? DeLillo?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a whole lot of trouble with these Italian. It's a pleasure having you on the show. He is the executive chef of Champions Golf Club out here, and the food out there is exquisite. I eat there a lot, you know, through my producers and things like that, and we've got some really neat dishes to prepare for you today. This is the first Italian show that we've done. And so what we're going to do today is show you what? Veal capone.
Yes.
We're going to show you that first, a good Italian salad, and then a fettuccine, right? Okay, well, that's the things that we're going to show you today. Later on, we're going to have a good red sauce type thing for you on some other show, but today we're going to start off with Vinny's famous veal capone, right?
Right.
Tell us exactly what this is.
Okay, basically what it is, it's a veal dish, which is stuffed and rolled.
Rolled around with toothpicks, right?
Right. It's a real basic, easy dish to make.
Okay, so you start off with thin slices of veal, right, that have been pounded.
Right.
Okay, now for the essence of time's sake, we've already pounded these. Okay.
Okay, I'll just get right into telling how it's made very easily. First you lay out your veal on your table and you place fresh spinach leaves if you can get them, washed and cleaned very well because of the sand in it. And you just lay it out like this. And you grab some prosciutto ham.
Which is Italian ham, sliced real thin.
And if you find it to be a little fatty, just trim it right off.
You can use regular, like, Italian spices in this, what, oregano and stuff like that?
Right, oregano, basil, thyme, and garlic, which is probably the basic ingredients for Italian cookery.
What actually is prosciutto? Is it just an Italian ham? Is it cured differently than, like, American hams, or...?
Yeah, not really differently. It's still a salt-based cure.
But it's saltier than regular hams are, right?
Yeah.
Do they add salt to it?
Yeah, it's set into a salt brine and then hung for 30 to 60 days.
Okay, what is this?
This here is provolone cheese. Which you can use mozzarella cheese if you prefer, but mozzarella's a little too stringy to use.
Okay, the actual Oscar recipe. Now, Oscar, I'm using Oscar again here. The capone recipe, does it call for this type of cheese, provolone?
Yes, it does.
Okay, rather than another kind, right?
Right.
Provolone's pretty easy to find, so you won't have any trouble making these things.
No, I usually go right over to Randall's to get all of what I need. Okay, so after you lay it out nicely, you just take and roll it up.
Where do your seasonings come in? See, we have to season this.
Okay, well,
all right.
Let's go back one step here. First you season it. I already have a salt and pepper mixture already made up, which you just take and sprinkle on there. Nice and light. I use my fingers. Helps in the seasoning.
We dump a little of this and dump a little of that. So
use your basil. Don't be afraid to put a lot of basil in. The other two seasonings which you have to watch, which will be oregano, which is very strong, so you just want to throw a pinch, just a pinch. And thyme, same thing, just a pinch.
I used to work for a pizza parlor in my younger days like that, and we had a really good pizza recipe that was in, of course, a heavy red sauce, but we used lots and lots of oregano.
Well, for a pizza sauce you would, but this isn't.
It would take away from the taste of your veal, I guess.
Yes, because veal is very delicate flavored anyway. It's not very strong in flavors. Then just take your garlic and
Okay, now this is minced garlic, right?
Right, minced or pureed in the Cuisinart, whichever you prefer to do. This was pureed in the Cuisinart. And just mainly get the oil is what you want. It's just the flavoring.
And now we've mentioned this on the show before too, that I'm buying now like minced garlic. You can buy it in a refrigerated section just like horseradish in your regular supermarket. And I find that works real well because then I don't have to stop and do all this kind of stuff, and it stays pretty fresh in my refrigerator. Okay?
Yeah, I use just fresh.
What do you do? Just roll this up?
Okay, now the important thing when you roll this up, the reason for laying it all out, is the effect you want to get at the end of this presentation, which also makes your dish that much more exciting when it's presented. Okay, you want to make sure it's laying out even, so when you roll it like this, you'll end up with a sort of spiral or spindle effect after it's been cooked. Okay, and then you just stick your toothpicks in it to hold it together so it doesn't fall apart when you go to cook it. Okay, same with this one.
You can't ask for anything a little bit more simple than this at home, you know, to taste so good.
It's great for if you want to sort of impress somebody when they come over.
Well, the thing about it, the thing that we're trying to show in Cable Cookery a lot of times is that things that we do are not difficult. They appear to be difficult when you taste them and everything, right? Okay, we've got a hot skillet prepared over here. Let me bring this over. Just pour it over. I know this is hot. Okay. Put it what?
A little dash of oil in there. Just a little bit. The reason why you want to put a little oil is so it won't stick to your pan, basically.
Here's this.
Yeah. Okay, and what we want to do with the veal now is just lightly brown it, and you want to finish it off in the oven. Because if you leave it on the stove to cook, what will happen is it'll brown too much and your inside will not cook. So that's the reason why we do this.
So actually you just turn it over in there and brown it and then put it in the oven.
Right.
And then you come back with the sauce that's over the top, right?
It goes on the bottom.
Okay.
I'll show you why later.
It goes on the bottom. We'll see. Okay, you got your credentials for cooking from the Culinary Institute, right, Hyde Park?
Yes, I do.
And we've done a couple of other shows with people. Tell us a little bit about that. How long does it take?
Okay, the culinary is it's a 2-year course. You go for 8 months to the actual classes, which change every 3 weeks. You're in a different type of course. After your 8 months are up, you go out and work for 5 months in the field, in restaurant, hotels,
like it's an
country clubs.
Or
usually, if you're lucky, you get an assistant's job. Usually when you're an externship is what it's called, the program they have. People don't usually hire you as a sous chef or assistant. You're more of a roundsman type or gourmet pantry, cold sections. It all depends.
So it's, what, 2 years, right?
Right, and then you go back for your remaining 8 months and you're finished.
If it's not too much a problem, how much does this cost?
Well, roughly now it's somewhere around 15,000 to 18,000.
Oh, good heavens! Wow, that's expensive.
Yeah, for the time that you spend there.
Wow, that's amazing. What are the credentials to get into someplace like that? Can anybody go?
No, you need prior experience, references. Basically, is all you need in a high school diploma.
Where is this? Where is Hyde Park?
Oh, it's in upstate New York, which is about an hour and a half from the city.
Well, I know I've heard a whole lot about the Hyde Park Culinary Institute lately. Is it one of the top institutes in the United States, or the top?
Yes, it's considered to be the #1 in America.
Oh, that's all right. You know,
Yes.
I didn't realize it was anywhere near that expensive, though. Good heavens.
Nobody does.
Respect the chef. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, put it in the oven right now, and bake it at 350 degrees for about how long?
Just 5 to 6 minutes.
5 to 6 minutes. We'll be back right after this message to show you that finished product. Good heavens, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Cable Cookery. Vinny and I are now going to finish up this entire meal for you, which is the veal dish that we cooked a while ago. Now, this has been in there for 5 to 7 minutes, right? So that it comes out with a nice, just what, tenderized texture, right? So that the inside's not cooked too much.
Yes, this way it's cooked all the way through, rather than just having a little raw spot in the center. Okay, after this, which is important for your sauce, is it's a basic red wine sauce, which you just take a little bit of red wine and pour it right into your...
That's red wine and brandy, right?
Right.
Okay, we'll give you these recipes for these sauces and things too at the end of the show here, and you'll write in for them.
Okay, and all this is here is beef stock, which has been thickened with a roux, and a lot of people also thicken with cornstarch and arrowroots and things of this sort. So it's more or less up to you, but I prefer roux.
Just a flour.
Right. Okay. Flour and butter, which is mixed together, heated up for about 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, and you just take and get that red wine mixed in with your brown sauce. Is really what it is. And put it on the stove for just for a half a second.
So that it gets hot, right?
Right. Just to heat it up a little bit. And incorporate that red wine. And stir for.
Well, that smells good. I'm getting hungry here too. Okay, we're going to come back with a fettuccine and a basic Italian salad that Vinny makes there at Champions. Go ahead on here.
Okay. You want the sauce on the bottom. The reason why is when I cut the veal, you'll see the presentation on it. Just enough to cover your bottom of your plate. Okay. Move that out of the way. Take your veal and cut it right down the middle.
Ooh, that's pretty all rolled up with that spinach like that too.
Move your toothpicks. You may just want to cut a little off on the end here, so let's stand. See if we can get it to stand today.
That's what mine did. It fall down right away.
Okay. Beating them together. Okay. So give me a second.
This is a nice presentation on this too. It looks good, looks appetizing, it smells delicious.
Mm. Okay.
Garnish it with a couple of tomatoes or something like that.
Yeah, or you can use little scallion flowers in the center if you want. Don't want to stand, but or off to the sides.
Well, it looks good.
And a little parsley.
Okay, let's go right into fettuccine. We'll come back and show you all these finished dishes in just a minute.
Okay.
Okay, what are you starting off with there?
Okay, the fettuccine, first you'd want to put a little bit of hot oil, or a little oil into your pan to get it hot. Just let that sit for a second. And first you'd want to add a little bit of mushrooms.
Okay, now he's using fresh button mushrooms that is cut into
Slices.
real thin slices like this. You can have that back.
Alright. Okay, you just want to cook this here for just a minute or two. You really don't want your mushrooms to overcook because they lose texture, flavor, and the way the presentation.
You want them basically firm.
Right. Okay. After that, you want to take a little bit of garlic, or if you like a lot of garlic.
It's that same minced garlic too that we used a while ago in this veal dish.
Right. Just toss it around your pan a little bit. Then quickly add your cream to prevent your garlic from burning. Okay.
How fast does garlic burn?
Seconds. And when it does, it makes it real bitter. Very unpleasant in flavor.
Oh boy, that smells good. Phew.
Okay. Now you want your heavy cream to cook down to about half the consistency, so it sort of adheres to the noodles. And I'm also using spinach noodles, which is just made from spinach and eggs and flour, a little bit of water, salt and pepper.
You can buy spinach noodles at any grocery store.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most of all now. Yeah, they've become popular pretty lately. So.
They are good too. Okay, just want to throw it in there.
Okay, now have you cooked those down some already?
Oh, the noodles have been pre-cooked.
Okay.
Yes. Makes it a little bit easier.
Puddles the dog again. Puddles always make these cameo appearances on this show.
Okay, you just want to mix it up a little bit.
So actually what you're doing now is just rewarming the noodles, right?
Right. Right.
All right.
Because it would take too long for you to cook it, and it would more or less make your noodles mushy.
Right. So that's good preparation. Before you make a dish like this at home, you can do that very easily. You know, so you'll be more prepared. You don't have to cook yourself to death before your guests arrive at this point.
Okay, there's a little more in there.
Now he's using what, Parmesan cheese?
Right, freshly grated is the best. You could use Romano or Parmesan. I prefer Parmesan with this dish. And don't be afraid to use this now, just pour it in there.
It also thickens it enough too, you know.
Right, that's why you want to look, see how the heavy cream isn't quite that thick. See, with Parmesan cheese it will tighten it right up. Okay, I just want to mix it around a little bit.
Parmesan rather than Romano though, right?
Right. Right, Romano's a little strong.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. And to finish it off, you'd want to take some julienne cut of zucchini.
Zucchini.
Right. You just want to throw it in at the end, because if you throw it in the beginning, it cooks right out.
Too much.
And you have no zucchini left.
Boy, that smells good. Whew.
Okay, just want to toss it around a little
Okay,
bit.
we can set this. Oh no, this is ready to serve right now, right?
This is to be served immediately.
Okay, well let's set this right over here to the side and go into this salad a minute here. This is what, a basic, real simple salad recipe.
Yes, it is. All you really need for this here is, again, you start out with some oil.
Okay, now he's dressing the marinade on this. He's using an oil that he heats up.
Olive oil preferred.
An olive
for
oil?
this dish, yes. Okay. Grab my seasonings.
Now this is going to be poured over an already chilled salad, or poured over it and then chilled?
Right, it's poured over and then chilled.
And then chilled.
Right, and then it'll be ready to serve. Okay, first you want to let your oil heat up just for a few minutes, just to really get it warm. And then again, because if you get it too hot, it'll burn your garlic up.
Right.
Okay, so you want to add lots of garlic to this. Okay, lots of it. Okay, and here it's already starting to cook.
Okay, let's set this salad up over here while this is starting to get hot. What do we do over here with this? This is
Fettuccine.
okay.
Okay, now to be served, it's real simple. Just
That looks so good.
care to try some?
I will in just a second. I'll tell you what we're going to do right here. We're going to break for just a second, and we're going to come back and show you this finished salad dish. All we have to do is pour the oil over the salad, right?
Right.
And we'll show you all these finished dishes and come back with a real neat dessert in just a second. Be right back after this message.
All right.
Welcome back to the closing here on Cable Cookery. After a delicious Italian meal like that, everybody wants a really good dessert. I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite people in all the world. Her name is Jackie Mordan. Everybody at Champions knows her. She's been out there forever. It's a pleasure.
I want to say thank you, Tommy, but I don't know if I can or not.
It's a little
I mean,
underhanded
forever is a
compliment
long
there.
time.
Okay, tell us about, I know that you've been talking to me about Cherry's Jubilee and Bananas Foster forever, and you are just an artist with it, right?
Thank you very much. Well, it's a good way to end any meal because it gives class, you know, to anything. You can eat a hamburger and have Bananas Foster
Right.
and really feel rich.
So many people are afraid. They say, well, I couldn't cook that, you know, and they don't even try, you know. So one thing we're going to try to show you today is that it's a little bit easier than you think it is,
It
right?
really is.
Mhm.
There's absolutely nothing to it. In order to save on time, Tommy asked me to have these
Yeah,
amounts.
that's preparation.
You know, this is what you call preparation.
Okay, now we've heated this, what are these called?
Well, it's
No.
actually just a sterno holder. If you have a chafing dish, if you don't, you can do it on your stove if you want to. All you need is just the heat.
Okay,
to
well, let's
combine
start
everything.
this.
You can do it if you want to. You could do it on the stove and then bring your pan to the table and serve it,
And-
which would still be very colorful.
Right, because it would still be flaming by the time you bought it at the table,
Oh,
or flame
yes.
it on the
Uh-huh.
way.
Or you can flame it at the table after you take it off the
Mhm.
heat.
Okay, what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to read off the recipe for Champions Bananas Foster. And we will be glad to give you these. You can write the station. I'll give you the address later for it, right? While Jackie's starting this off now, and she can start to tell us about what we do, right? So it's a half a stick of melted butter
A half a
first
stick of melted butter.
in
or
a
if
hot
you-
pan.
If you don't want to melt it ahead of time like I did, all you have to do is just stick the half a cube of butter in there. And you can use a diet butter if you're too fat like me.
And then you add the brown sugar. So what difference does the diet butter
That's
make, right?
right.
We have 6 heaping tablespoons of brown
sugar, which we add to the butter. Now, isn't that simple?
Right. So
Now, let me
far.
tell you, most recipes do not call for pineapple juice. But at Champions, we found that it gives a fruitier flavor to the dish if you add a little bit of pineapple juice.
So how much are you putting in there?
Well, what I use is the frozen pineapple puree. And you just put about a tablespoon in it. And that flavors, it gives a different
tartier flavor.
Uh-huh.
I
A
got
lot
Bananas
fruitier.
Foster one time and used lemon and lime. You know, so
Uh-huh.
maybe that would make up the difference
Yeah,
in...
you can use a lemon lime, but and another thing about Bananas Foster is you can change it. You can put anything you want to in it. If you like a different flavor, you can put a little Cointreau. You can put if you could use Grand Marnier
Any kind
if
of
you
a
want a touch
sweeter
of an
liqueur
orange
then,
flavor.
right?
But I like the pineapple flavor, so that's what I use.
Okay, when you're flaming these things, what is proper to flame with and what is not proper to flame with? I know you can flame with just about any kind of a
Yes, you can. A brandy will flame, but if you want to be absolutely foolproof and not depend on it flaming, we use the 151
Bacardi
rum.
rum.
And it's never failed.
Okay, now with
It always
Everclear,
lasts.
Everclear being 180 proof, which is 90% alcohol, I know that it flames. But,
Yes, it does.
But does it give an unusual flavor? Because it doesn't have a flavor.
Well, I prefer to use the rum because this is actually a rum dish anyway. So I use the 151 to flame with. And I like to use the rum rather than Everclear on any kind. In the first place, we're not allowed to have Everclear, you know, at the club. And this will do just as well, and it's a never fail flame.
Right. Okay, now how much do you heat this right here now that it's butter and brown sugar?
Well, you heat it until it melts and makes a caramely sauce. Now when it melts and gets this caramely sauce going, you can start peeling your bananas and get them
I'll help
ready.
you do this.
Oh, please.
It's my favorite part, peeling bananas. What other kinds of fruit could you use in this? If you could you make like an orange Foster?
Absolutely, and you can make strawberry. You can flambe any fruit. You can combine any fruit liqueur and a little base, like a brown sugar and butter base, and use it. You can use peaches. You know, peaches
Ooh, that
are
sounds
great.
good, a peach Foster.
Yeah, and almost anything you want to use.
Especially with Texas peaches being so in season right now. You know.
Right.
We did a show real recently where we made a Texas peach pie, and it was very, very good.
Now we quarter our bananas, slicing them long ways, simply because they cook better that way.
All right. What we're going to do, we're going to put these in here. We're going to break for just a second. We'll be right back after these things are melted in here a little bit with the rest of this bananas Foster. Welcome back. Jackie and I are now going to finish up this bananas Foster dish. You're adding what? A little bit of cream de banana liqueur, right?
Cream de banana and a little light rum.
All right. What does this light rum do? Because I know you're going to use 151 to flame it, right?
Well, actually, all the 151 does is flame.
It's flame.
It's not giving it the rum flavor. The rum flavor comes from the light rum.
Well, that looks great.
Okay, and we're all set to flame now. Your bananas have sauteed. You don't want them too soft.
Right.
You cook them too long, they get soft and fall to pieces.
So you get a firmer banana when you do this in the first place, right?
Right, a firmer banana because you're going to cook it and go around the edge of your pan.
All right. You're not going to be able to see this flame too much with these bright lights in this kitchen. Of course, it's daytime also, but we're going to show you exactly how to serve this. So there's really nothing to this dish right here. Well, I hate to say that, but there is a lot to this dish, but it's very easy to prepare, and you can do it at home and really, you know, kind of do some good things for your guests there. Now, see, I can see this flame here, but I think it's going to be very difficult for you to see it.
I don't think you can see it too well.
With these bright
but
lights.
Believe me, it's there.
I can see. How long will it flame, depending on how much you
Well,
put
depending
in,
on
right?
how much you put in. You don't want too much in because you want to serve it right away. And you take
So you
the
should flame it at the table.
Right.
I know one thing that a lot of people ask questions of me about, or any waiter for that matter. If you're served something flaming, and it's served to you while it's still flaming, what do? Do you put the fire out, or do you wait for it to go out?
It will go out. You don't use that much liquor. It will go out. After you put your bananas in, you spoon a little of the sauce over it, you know, to give it flavor. You can throw the bananas away and drink the sauce. You know, I've always heard that's good.
That sounds great too.
And then your bananas Foster is ready.
This looks absolutely delicious. Delicious. That's a good.
What have you had this morning? You've been in my sauce.
I know. Jackie, I thank you a whole lot. What we're going to do now, we're going to close, and we'll be back for our outro in just a second to show you all these finished dishes. I really want to thank Jackie. We'll see her again in just a moment. We'll be right back to close after this message.
Hi, I'm Bill Dudley of Tejas Toyota. Tejas is a convenient, easy-to-reach alternative to big city shopping, right here in your own backyard. We're located at the intersection of Highway 59 North and Farm Road 1960 with a full-service Toyota dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or used car, in need of parts, service, or body repair, we really want your business. So, when you think Toyota, think Tejas Toyota. We specialize in Toyotas and serving you.
All we've done on the salad dressing for this salad, on a regular lettuce and scallion and bell pepper, we've put oregano, sage, thyme, salt, and pepper in a red wine and into that hot oil, and we're putting it on the salad, and we're just going to chill it at this point. Jackie's finishing off with her bananas Foster. I'm Tom LeMay. This is TV10. You can get these recipes by writing me in care of TV10, 16757 Squires Road, Spring, Texas, 77373. We'll see you next week with another great show. And for this Italian meal, I really want to thank Jackie and Vinny a whole lot. We'll see you next week.
TV10 News is on the air, bringing you the latest in news happenings and events of the 1960 Northwest Houston area with Tom Trepany and Lindsay O'Connor and Chris Peterson.